Welcome back to our channel. I'm Michelle.
And for those of you that are new here, welcome to our channel. My name is Jessie. We are Moms on Crime, and in this channel we talk about true crime and anything paranormal. And today, Michelle has a paranormal story for us. I'm so excited. So what are we talking about today, Mama?
I'm excited too because I'm ready for Halloween and spooky season because in my house it starts September 1st. I decorate my house Labor Day weekend, well, inside because my husband won't let me do outside until like October 1st, but the inside of my house is already decorated. I'm ready to go. So I'm ready for spooky stories. Before I get started, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel. And you can come hang out with your favorite moms on YouTube every time we upload. All right, Mama. So I'm going to tell you some ghost stories of Disneyland. So when I was reading, I was just going to tell you like the normal ones that other people do videos on and you hear. But then I found this website where there's ghost stories on there from actual employees. So I'm going to read you those ghost stories today. But before I read those, I will mention tragedies that have happened inside the park at Disneyland in California. And that way it kind of gives you like a sense of actual tragedies that have actually taken place there at Disneyland.
Yeah.
So of course, the number one ghost that they claim haunts Disneyland is Walt Disney himself. He did not pass away there, but you can imagine Disneyland was a huge part of his life. It was a dream of his, and he absolutely loved it. And he actually had an apartment on Main Street above the fire station. And it said that he haunts it. He stays in there. There was a story from after he died in 1966, a cast member. They call them cast members. They're not workers, they're cast members. So a cast member was in there cleaning up and she turned off the light. So when you're walking on Disneyland's Main Street, if you look up in the window, you see a light on, right? So when Walt Disney was still alive, when the light was on, employees knew that he was there in the park and they should be on their best behavior, right? So the light was on, and before she left the room, she went to turn it off and it turned back on by itself. And she was like, what the heck? So she went to turn it back off. She went to leave again, and she heard a voice say, I'm still here, and the light turned back on. So legend has it, that light doesn't turn off, ever. They do not shut it off. They keep it burning. But the way I think of it, I think that's pretty cool, and I think they should have left it on always. Part of me thought, oh, maybe that's cool. Like, you turn it off as, like, I don't know, I guess one way you could see it, like it's like a tribute to him. They turned it off because he passed away. But then I'm like, no, you should leave it burning. That's his park. That was his dream. And he'll be there for forever. So you should leave the light on forever burning,
For
right?
him, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the second most famous ghost of Disneyland is Mr. One Way, who's said to haunt Space Mountain. So they don't actually know who this person is. He doesn't match the description of anybody who's passed away at the park. It's said that he's a large man with red hair and like a rosy face, a red face, and that he will actually talk with people in line. And if you're a single passenger, that he'll get on next to you, but by the time the ride ends, he's not there anymore. And there's actually this really cool video from Space Mountain. So it's like looking down on the ride, right? So you can see people getting in the ride, and you can see the person controlling the ride, and you see this like image, like this like see-through thing walking, and it sits down next to a guy that's all by himself on the ride.
Oh no!
It's freaky.
That's
so
why never go on rides by yourself. Always bring someone with you.
He's with you. He's like keeping you company so you're not scared.
Oh my god.
Easy, huh? And then there's the monorail runner. So in June of 1966, a teenager tried to sneak into Disneyland. I guess they used to do grad night for high school graduates, and they were messing around, and he got back in. He climbed a fence, but he ended up on the monorail track, and by the time he was spotted, it was too late, and the monorail actually struck and killed him. So it's said that on the monorail, you'll see an image up ahead and then you look like you're going to hit it and it disappears. So
Oh.
crazy, right? And then on the Matterhorn in 1984, a woman was thrown from one of the bobsleds. And it said that she also haunts the ride. They call this one part of the track Dolly's Dip. And several employees say that the lights never ever stay on in that part of the ride, that the lights always burn out. They can't keep them burning. And I guess at the end of the night, the cast members, they have to walk the ride. So it's one person will watch on the cameras, and then two cast members will walk through the rides and make sure nobody's hiding and they're trying to, like, you know, stay in Disneyland. So everybody says when they have to work the Matterhorn that they feel so uneasy and they feel like somebody's watching them, and you'll hear footsteps walking behind you, and they said it's just an eerie ride. And then there's the legend of the crying boy in the Haunted Mansion. So the belief behind the crying boy is that a mother spread the ashes of her son inside the ride because he loved the ride. So when he passed away, I heard different stories of why he passed away, but she asked Disneyland if she could spread his ashes, and of course they told her no, but she did it anyway. And now the ride is haunted by a little boy that they say they see at the end, at the exit, crying for his mom, which broke my heart and made me so sad. So I guess when they try to help him, he'll just disappear. And also there's a picture out there, if you Google it, I'll try to find it too and put it in here. There's a picture of somebody in the Haunted Mansion, and they took a picture, and up ahead of them on one of the doom buggies, you see like a little boy peeking around the corner, like smiling, and he looks not of this world.
Oh my gosh, like see-through-ish?
Kind of. Oh, I got goosebumps. Like his eyes look kind of weird, like it's I'm gonna find it. I'll find it and put it in here. And then there's a man with a cane who also haunts the Haunted Mansion, but they believe that this is a ghost of a man who died in a small plane crash in the 1940s in Anaheim before the park was built. He's said to be seen all around inside the Haunted Mansion. And there's also a woman in white, and she's dressed in a 19th century gown, like not of this era. And it's said that she actually helps lost children. She'll go up to lost children and help them, and she'll take them to this area where it's like kind of like a daycare.
Yeah.
And then she'll disappear, and the little kids will say that a lady helped them that was dressed like in an old dress. So she's actually like very helpful and sweet. She helps kids that are lost. And then in 1973, there was brothers who were at the park, like messing around. They stayed on Tom Sawyer's Island. They wanted to stay overnight. And I guess they tried to swim across the rivers of America, but the older brother didn't make it, and he drowned in the river. And it said that they see his ghost quite often, and you'll see like the water rippling when nothing and nobody is in it. And there's also another teenager there was a ride called the People Mover, and this teenager passed away in 1967 on there. I think they stood up and they got injured and they passed away, and it said that he now haunts Tomorrowland. And the People Mover closed in 1995, so he kind of wanders around Tomorrowland, and it said that he likes to mess with blonde women and he'll tug at their hair. And yeah, right. So it said in 1963, so I guess the Haunted Mansion used to be a lot different. And one of the first people to ride the ride died of a heart attack. So they actually stopped construction on it until 1969, and then they resumed it and finished it. I don't know what would have been so scary in there that it caused somebody to die of a heart attack.
Right.
But there's actually been a lot of tragedies in the park since it opened. So I just wanted to give you a brief overview of some of the tragedies that have happened there at the park since it opened. So this website that I found, it's called Haunted Disneyland Stories of OC. So I'm going to read you some stories from this site. Okay, so this website, it's called Haunted OC, Haunted Disneyland Stories. So these are actual stories from employees who worked at Disneyland.
Oh my God.
And it it freaked me out. It gave me goosebumps. So this first story I'm going to read you, it's a little long, but I actually don't think this was an employee. It seems like it was somebody who was just at Disneyland for the day.
Mm-hmm.
So this story was submitted by somebody named David V. So it says, in August of 2019, I saw something at Disneyland Resort that rattled me to my core. It was a subtle, creepy moment. It stuck with me ever since. So after Disney's D23 Expo in Anaheim, my sister and I headed to the theme park for a late lunch. Since we had bags filled with merchandise from the expo, we rented a locker near Disney California Adventure entrance. The parks were crowded that Saturday, and we saw several people wander out of the nearby restroom, wiping the sweat from their foreheads. The locker area was small, wonderfully cool, and thankfully uncrowded. It was just us and a young girl with fair skin that I noticed out of the corner of my eye. She crouched against the far wall, digging out of the bottom row locker. As my sister and I chit-chatted about our first ride, we kept our voices low as to not bother her. After a couple of minutes, I realized that the girl had been crouching for quite a while. Though I couldn't tell how old she was, I thought it was odd that she was alone for so long. I didn't want to rudely look directly at her, so I kept track of her from the corner of my eye, just to make sure she was okay. The girl played with her long yellow skirt as if dusting it off. I thought the pattern was out of place. Either red polka dots or strawberries. It looked like something a person might wear on Dapper Day or in a day long past. Suddenly, the girl turned around. I stopped keeping track of her and focused on my sister, who was stuffing her things into her locker. Still, I could sense the girl's eyes on us. I looked again from the side, hardly able to see her in my peripheral vision. She was standing now, staring at us. I noticed her short, dirty blonde hair and the skirt's length as it cascaded to her ankles. She was taller and older than I expected, probably a young teenager. But what was she doing? Why was she looking at us? It was just too weird, and I needed to know. I quickly crammed my bag into the corner locker and shut it. I could still see the girl watching us. All at once, I gave my reservations and turned around. No one was there. The locker area was totally empty. There wasn't a thing that resembled a yellow dress or a girl with fair skin. For a moment, I stared at the emptiness with goosebumps racing down my arms. Are we going over to Disneyland? My sister asked. She looked toward me and noticed my flustered face, and she said, "What's wrong?" I said, "Did you see that girl near those lockers?" She said, "Yeah, I saw someone." She had noticed the girl too, but I didn't have to explain. My sister was already staring at the empty row of lockers near us. I watched the colors swiftly leave her face, and she started to say, "No, no, no, no." I told my sister about the ghost I'd seen at Disneyland before, and now she had seen one too. The moment was haunting and darkened the sunny afternoon. My sister reopened the locker and yanked our things from it. With our arms full, we rushed towards Disneyland, gripping our bags and unable to shake the ghostly girl from our minds.
Oh my God!
That was like freaky. Okay, so this
I
next
would
one.
be so freaked out too. Like, who was that?
No! To actually see like a full body apparition, like, that's rare, you know? But it must mean that they're just so strong and able to, like, you know, present themselves like that. Oh, okay,
usually they would be transparent or something, right?
Dude, you would think, but I hear stories sometimes that they make it seem like it's like an actual person standing there.
Oh!
Yeah! No! Okay, the next story is New Orleans and Toontown Encounters, submitted by Mike A. So, starts off, I worked custodial from 2002 to 2004 and had some bizarre things happen to me. One night in New Orleans, I was emptying the trash from the exit of the Haunted Mansion, right where the escalator ramp takes you up. I came the back way down the employee stairs and saw an elderly woman in an antique-looking wheelchair sitting in the hallway. I thought nothing of it and opened the door to where the trash can was. As I held the door open with my foot tying the trash bag, I thought to myself, what was that guest doing in the employee-only hallway? The park had been closed for a while. When I turned back into the hallway, not even 5 seconds later, the lady was gone. I was kind of creeped out, but shrugged it off and went about my business. As the night went on, I could not stop thinking about the woman in the wheelchair. It wasn't the rental wheelchairs. This one looked like it was made of wood. I finished my shift and forgot about it. I used to hear tons of stories from coworkers about certain areas being haunted, so I would always wander around the park exploring. Disney is creepy when it's empty, so I can see why people would have stories of being watched or having strange feelings. I remember sweeping the line for Roger Rabbit one night, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw a man standing near me in a navy blue t-shirt and black Dickie-style shorts. I asked if he needed anything, and when I looked up, he was gone. I walked pretty fast all the way through the line looking for him, and nobody was in there. Nobody was in there because Toontown was closed. It seemed like everyone had a haunted mansion, haunted bathroom, Tom Sawyer, or Toontown stories, so I kept the strange things that happened to me to myself. I felt like maybe nobody would believe me. A few months later, I was talking with a woman that had worked there for a long time. Someone had committed suicide in the parking structure that summer, so we were talking about deaths in the park and the possibilities of the supernatural. She told me a story about sweeping inside the haunted mansion at the bottom of the elevators after the park was closed and seeing an elderly woman in a wheelchair. When she looked up to speak to her, the room was empty. I thought to myself, no way, that's way too familiar. I didn't tell her what happened to me, but I had a lump in my throat and I felt pretty creeped out for a long time. I was always curious about spirits and the supernatural, but wasn't sure I believed in that kind of stuff. I'm still not sure that I believe in stuff, but I can't explain who those people were and where they came from.
Oh my god! That is kind of creepy, because what time does Disneyland close?
I think like 10 or 11, right?
Yeah, so then after that, everybody leaves. That's like so late, and that's when the workers, or what do you call it? And that's when they start cleaning. Yeah. So of course they would clean like all these rides. They go in there by themselves.
Yeah. And like all the stories I read, they say when they have to walk through, it's so creepy. And I don't know, I don't think it's on this list, but I was reading, I guess there's like a few back rooms in the haunted mansion, and no employees want to go in there by themselves. They say, yeah, it's a haunted mansion, like it's supposed to be creepy, but it's just creepy on its own for other reasons. Like, I guess that ride, but I mean, now that you read about it, like, there's a lot of weird stuff, and like people, I guess it's like a thing where people try to spread their loved ones' ashes in Disneyland, but it's like a no. They don't want you to do it, and they'll just sweep it up. But I mean, a part of you will stay there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like they say, if you play a Ouija board somewhere, you're gonna open up a portal. You're gonna open it up to stuff. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's been opened up to stuff.
Yeah.
And you hear a lot of weird stories. Like, it's not included in these stories, but have you ever heard that when they first opened Pirates of the Caribbean, that they actually used real human skeletons?
Yeah.
So they say that they're not there anymore, but all the employees say there's still a couple of skulls in there that are human. And in the Haunted Mansion, you know, when you go around, what's her name? She's like the witch who's a night glass thing, and she has like a spell book. That spell book is a real spell book. Like, it's like really old. I don't remember where I heard they found it, but it's like an actual thing, and employees say that thing will move all the time. It won't be in there in the morning where it's supposed to be. They'll find it somewhere else. Like,
oh my gosh. Why would you get the real thing? I mean, no.
I don't know. All right, here's another one. This one is the men's room basement ghost, and this was submitted by Annabelle K. I saw the name and I was like, Annabelle.
Right?
All right, so the story starts off. So I work in third shift custodial. Everyone jokes around about the park being haunted, especially if you're new. I was in my first year as third shift custodial. I had already heard of all sorts of ghost stories from the other cast members, so I was afraid to work alone anywhere in the park. At this point, I hadn't had anything happen to me till this night, and I'll never forget it. I was working in Toontown, and I was assigned to work in Mickey's basement, which is below Mickey's house. There's a set of bathrooms, a break room, and a small gym. I started off by cleaning the men's bathroom, then went over to the women's bathroom. As I was in the women's bathroom, I started to hear something moving around. I wasn't sure what it was. I ignored it and continued to work. Then I started to sweep the gym, and again I heard something moving. This time I heard it coming from the men's bathroom, so I shouted, "Hello? Anyone in the men's bathroom?" There was no response, so I took a look in the men's bathroom and nothing. No one was in there, so I continued to work. As I'm in the break room, I hear it again. Something's moving around in the men's bathroom. I go look again, and the trash can was in the middle of the bathroom. I just thought maybe I didn't move it back when I was cleaning, so I moved it back to the side. I go back to cleaning the break room, and then I started to sweep and mop all the floors. As soon as I started to mop, there it goes again. Movement in the men's bathroom. I go to look, and the trash can was moved again. This time, it was in the opposite side of the room, and that's when I started to get scared. I moved it back, and I was trying to rush out of there. I had already finished the bathroom and the gym. When I was halfway done in the break room, I heard the trash can move again. And this time, I ignored it and tried to move as fast as I could. At this point, I'm scared. I didn't even want to be down there. I'm thinking in my head, if there's something down here, it can't hurt me. I just need to hurry up. I'm almost done. And that's when I hear right off my left shoulder, "Get out," in the creepiest voice. I kind of froze. I could feel my hair standing straight up. I grabbed all my stuff and I ran out of there. I didn't finish mopping. I was just so scared I didn't want to finish, and I just ran out of there. Till this day, I won't step foot down there alone. After that, I had heard other stories from other cast members who had experiences down there, and every story had something to do with the men's bathroom. From hearing things and seeing shadow figures, I have had other experiences in the park, but this one was the scariest.
Oh my God. It's like it's
Isn't
one
that
thing to
crazy?
see a ghost, it's another to hear it. You know?
Oh my
It's like,
God. It's something moving around.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right, let's find another good one. I want to find one that's like, let's see.
Oh my gosh.
Spirit children. This one, I've read a couple of stories about spirit children in the park. Okay. This one was submitted by Tim R. So I used to work the swing shift at the stroller shop. One night I was cleaning Fantasyland of strollers just past 1 a.m. A coworker and I were between the carousel and the Dumbo ride when we heard children laughing. We decided to find security to let them know there were still guests in the park. But as we started to walk towards Matterhorn, Dumbo turned on, music and all. Since we had just finished collecting strollers from the Casey Jones Dumbo queue, we knew that there weren't any attractions open or cast members operating the ride. We took off. There's another story too, right after that one. There's another one. It says playful children after closing. This was submitted by Noemi B. So it says, I used to work as an artist there for about 5 years. The first week there, I was spooked by the sound of kids playing in the halls of the storage area near New Orleans Square by the courtyard staircase after closing hours. It took me a while to put together that we were closed and there shouldn't have been any little kids there. After closing in front of the Pirates of the Caribbean exit, I got messed with, and my niece saw the same ghost by the cast member eating area storage. Disney is definitely the most haunted place I've ever been to. What the hell?
Oh my God. It's supposed to be the most what is it, the happiest place on earth? But I guess it's the most haunted place on earth.
Dude, yes!
Oh
I can't. Oh gosh. All right, where's another? I want to find another good one. Oh, here's one about the Haunted Mansion. Ghostly guest, and this was submitted by Jacqueline S. So once my mom and I endeavored to ride by ourselves the Haunted Mansion on the last ride of the night. We got in just as they closed the gates at midnight and waited a minute in the gallery to let other guests board first. Once some space had passed, we got in our doom buggy for our solo midnight ride. But as we rounded the Madame Leota's room, oh, that's it, Madame Leota, we were shocked and disappointed. We looked across the room and saw full doom buggies, men, women, and children. We figured they opened up the gates to let more large groups on. Oh well. When we got to the end to disembark, there was no cast members present, so we decided to linger in the mausoleum before ascending the world of the living. And what did we see? Nothing but empty doom buggies. Nobody at all. We waited and we waited. Nobody else was there. Who did they see in the doom buggies? Who the hell?
Right.
But I mean, do you think? Yeah, no, I don't think they would do that, right? Like put like holograms to make it appear that there's other people.
No,
Probably not,
I
right?
don't think so. I mean, they do have those, don't they? Like in the especially in but you can tell. But
I don't know. All right. The last story is a pirate pistol whip, and this was submitted by ADR. So I think this is also just a guest. I don't think this is a worker. So, Pirates of the Caribbean ride. We sat on the last row of the boat so no one was behind us. I sat on the left side of the boat. Right when we are approaching the big battle of the ships, I got bumped on the side of my head. No one was behind me, and it came from behind me. I wasn't in the middle, so it wasn't the people sitting next to me that bumped me. I was recording on my phone, and upon review, I noticed a dark shadow come into view for just a few seconds when I got bumped in my head. What the hell? Yes.
He was like,
and there's just so many other stories about different stuff that people are seeing, and you can tell there's like really common areas of the park where like employees see stuff more often than not. So I'll put a link to this website in the description if you want to check it out, or if you're in the California area also when Corona's gone, there's links on here where you can actually go on different ghost walks in different counties in California. And I thought that's pretty cool because that's something I've always wanted to do. So as soon as Corona's gone, we're going on a trip, Mama. We're going to go to California because San Diego has a really cool one too.
We're going to do a ghost trip in Disneyland.
Yes, we'll do a haunted trip. We'll hit up all the haunted places in California. We'll go on a couple of ghost walks. It'll be fun. So, Mama, those are my stories, my ghost stories of Disneyland.
Oh my God. Let's go.
Yes. Guys, please, if you enjoyed these stories, please like this video and don't forget to subscribe.
Yes, and also don't forget to turn on the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified every time we upload. Also, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Momsoncrime. And you can email us at momsoncrime@gmail.com. And
also, we have merch available. We have some really cute Moms on Crime shirts. They come in 3 different colors. And there's also a link below for our Etsy shop where you can buy a shirt. And that's all we have for today, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye. All right, bye, guys.